All right, here we go. Back again. Welcome back to a podcast. Today we have a special guest with us, John and Nancy. Nancy's about to come on after a halftime. But for now, we just got John with Engelberg Antique. No,
Antics.
Antics. We literally just talked about this. We've been going. We have a booth there, and we've been going there for over a year and a half, and I still can't get the name right. But he's saying that a lot of people have the same issue, so it makes me feel a little bit better.
Not even a year and a half. Not even.
No,
a
we've
year.
been going there for a little bit over a year.
Yes.
Because that's where you met John, right?
Yeah.
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 You'd go there with your daughter?
Yeah. Yeah. We used to go there all the time.
Dang. Well, let's start from the beginning, John. Where are you from, and where were you raised?
Born and raised San Diego, California. I've been all over the country. I've lived in a lot of different states. I came to Oregon in 2012. Met my wife. We got married.
Yeah, that's not too long. 2012.
No,
10 years ago?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
So you're from San Diego. At what age
Originally.
did you move out of San Diego?
Oh, probably 28, 29. In my late 20s.
Late
I went to
20s?
Orange County. Met my second wife, and then we moved from there to Indiana. And then we got divorced. In 2012, I came back here.
So you were in Indiana
Yeah.
from
93 to 12.
12 and then Oregon.
Yeah.
When did you start collecting things?
I've always collected little things. I had a coin collection as a kid.
Okay.
I had toys and stuff. I was always into reselling a little bit. I'd find things, I'd sell them. I had a buddy. We used to go to swap meets down in San Diego. We'd buy stuff there, then set our own space up and sell it, same day.
This will be in your early 20s.
Yeah.
I heard the swap meets in San Diego were pretty crazy, like crazy good.
A lot different than they used to be. It was like at a drive-in, and each stall was a different little space, and it was like all yard sales or garage sales. People clean their garage out, they take their junk down and sell it. Last time I've been down there, they've changed more to regular vendors selling new stuff, like an indoor flea market or something.
What kind of things were they selling beforehand?
Anything. If it was something in a shed or a garage, people bring it out. Truckloads of junk.
Was there anything that you focused on, like mostly on like looking for? Back
Not
then?
really. I was just, something that looked cool, I'd grab it, and sell it. And
when you moved from San Diego to Indiana, did you keep doing that, or did you kind of stop that for a little bit?
Got into garage selling a lot out there.
We got into garage selling too.
Yeah, my second wife, we actually got a booth at a flea market back there and flopped. Didn't do well. We didn't know what we were doing and what kind of things to get. So once, Nancy and I, we learned pretty quick, things that turned over better.
Mm-hmm. So you came to Oregon, and what were you doing for work when you came to Oregon?
In Indiana, the last job I had, I was certifying railroad scales, 13 states in the Northeast. And when I came out here, I got a job driving a log truck.
Log truck.
Oh,
okay.
damn. Interesting.
So you were driving log trucks, and then were you still collecting?
I don't think a whole lot. I might have been picking stuff up here and there, but not really collecting anything.
Mm-hmm. And can you talk about how you got back into like selling again here?
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
so I guess to go back for people that don't know, Engelberg Antiks is a vintage shop
Right,
mall.
it's an antique mall.
Antique mall,
Right.
located in downtown Salem. So
Correct.
okay,
148 Liberty Street Northeast.
there you go.
Let's go.
Let's
Get
go.
the
Let's go,
plug.
baby.
Yeah.
That's right.
But no, when I came out, I started driving a log truck. I actually moved to Oregon to help my sister out because her husband had passed away in 2010. She didn't have any other family here, and she was struggling with finances. So we had met up in Florida in 2012 to visit our dad.
This guy's been everywhere.
Yeah. And I asked her, if she wanted me out here, and she said it'd be nice to have family. So I went home and quit my job, sold my house, sold most of my stuff, and came out. Was here a couple weeks, got the job driving log truck. Met my wife in, I think it was 2015. I had an accident logging. Had 3 logs come off the top of the load on me. Laid me out for a couple of years. I also, just before the accident, had bought a commercial fishing boat
Ooh.
because logging slows down in the summer because it gets too dry. So I figured that'd go hand in hand. When logging slows down, go fishing. And so kind of ruled all that out. But we enjoyed, hitting antique shops, hitting yard sales and stuff. And we had actually looked at Engelberg's to get a booth and try it out. And the rent kind of scared us.
Yeah.
And there was a small antique mall that opened up in Turner. The booths were smaller. It was a lot more affordable. So we thought, let's give that a try. We did well with it. And we thought, let's try Engelberg. So we got one booth. That was when Henrietta still owned the store. We did good. Then Turner started slowing down. So we got a second booth at Engelberg's. About the time that she sold it to her son, Hank, because she was ready to retire. And then August of 21, Hank passed away. We were still vendors. We were doing well. We had talked to Henry. If she wanted to sell it, we might be interested. So come February of 22, it was ours. We bought it.
Nice. So a year ago.
Yeah.
A little bit over a year
Maybe
ago.
a year and
Is-
a week or two.
1 year anniversary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
February
go.
1st. Yeah.
Let's go.
Make sure to go out to the Engelberg Antiks downtown
Antics.
Salem.
There we go.
Yeah.
You said it.
What did you start selling first? Like, did you just go in there? You have an idea what you're selling?
We really didn't specialize on any one
Yeah.
thing. It was just stuff we thought was cool.
Yeah.
We thought somebody else was going to dig it.
Yeah. Whatever you liked, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Nice.
I find that super interesting. And then now, even when you guys do have days off, you say that you guys will will go to like specific trips to like find things, right?
Yeah, a lot of times our day off is our day to pick.
So
Right.
technically, it's not a day off, but it's still kind of a day
It's
off.
still working, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have kids in Indiana still, right?
I have one daughter in Indiana and a daughter back down in California.
And you were saying that when you here we go again.
Oh, got it.
Told you, dude.
Redemption. You were saying that when you go down and visit her, you guys will like start picking on your way there and on your way back, right?
Well, in October of 21, my youngest daughter got married in Indiana. And so we opted to drive out. And, we hit shops and stores and markets on the way out and way back. And by the time we got home, the car was packed.
Was it packed? How long did it take you guys to get to Indiana?
It was just a few days.
A few days.
Yeah, 'cause we drove pretty hard. Our first stop, we went from here. My sister lives in just outside of Casper, Wyoming now. So we drove. That was our first stretch. We drove straight there, slept a few hours, then made it to Iowa. And then from Iowa, we made it down to my daughter's. It
Dang.
was just a few days, yeah.
Did you guys pick everything on your way there, or both on your way there and
Both.
back?
On the way there, our first stop was, I forget the name of it, it was an antique shop in Nebraska.
Okay.
Picked up a couple things. Whenever we'd find a cool place, we'd stop and just kept going. And we picked a lot while we were there. On the way back, we took a little bit different route, dropped down through Denver on the way home. Hit some cool places, found a really cool antique mall that'd be neat to go back to in Missouri.
Missouri's the
Yeah.
spot, huh?
It was a huge one. They even advertised it on the radio. It was like 70,000 square feet.
Dang.
Oh, really?
We spent 4 hours, and we were hustling getting through it. I mean, we didn't
Oh,
even have time
damn.
to stop and look at stuff. It's just, oh, that's cool. Boom, that's cool. It just
Is-
ran.
Did you ever watch Did you guys ever watch the show Picker? What is it called?
American Pickers.
Is
Is,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
These guys are the American Pickers from the Northeast.
Yeah, there you go, from Salem.
Yeah, the Salem American Pickers.
Dude, we're northwest, not northeast.
Northwest. That's what I said.
Oh.
Yeah.
PNW.
They were, I was actually watching one of their episodes. They were in New York, and it was a guy that had the telephones and radios. And there was one particular radio that was on the shelf that we had. And I'm watching the show. It's like, touch that radio. I can raise my
Yeah.
price. They never touched it.
Dang.
But it was a cool radio.
Yeah.
It still sold well.
Dang. I find that super interesting because I really like. I think you guys are really similar to them because you guys are literally in the same business. They have their shop. You guys have your shop. You
Mhm.
guys will go out and pick. Do you guys always go to like a specific auction, or do you guys also still do garage sales, or do people call you and they're like, hey, we're getting rid of this house. Do you guys want to check it out?
We get people calling from time to time. We don't do a whole lot of that. I still like going to, estate sales, a few auctions, so I can kind of pick the piece that I want instead of getting a whole pile and then picking the pieces I want. It's like, what do I do with the rest?
Mm.
So we pay a little more that way, but I think we get better stuff.
Yeah.
Dang, we used to just buy a bunch of stuff, and then some stuff we would keep, and then we wouldn't be able to sell. So we have like, isn't like your garage still kind of like packed with some of those
There, a
stuff?
few of the stuff, yeah. I've always said everything sells, no matter what. At one point, everything sells.
We just don't know how
Everything will
long.
sell eventually.
Eventually,
Eventually, can be a very long time
Mhm.
though.
but I mean, it will sell. But I mean, the point is trying to sell it, you know. But at the time, I don't think we were really trying to like sell as fast as possible. I think
Right.
we just like the hobby. We like
Mhm.
doing it and all of that. Um, you just have to figure out the price, and I think eventually at one point it will sell. It's just
Yeah.
Oh, what I wanted to say too about the 70,000 square foot place where you guys were there for 4 hours, I couldn't imagine doing that. We went to a card show earlier today, and we were there for like 2 hours, and I was just getting like overwhelmed, and I'm like, dude, I just want to leave at this. Like, I don't even know what to look at. Like,
I think
that's
you get
almost frustrating.
get overwhelmed because we've never
Mhm.
been to a card show, so this is the first time we went. But it's just so much things to look at, so many things, and it kind of all looks the same, and you don't know really. We didn't know what
Right.
we were expecting, right? We didn't know what the hell was going on. So you're like, man, this card looks exactly like this one, but why is this? And at that point, you're like, dude, it's all over the
There's a
place.
lot
You,
of
you
people
realize there's a
there.
lot to learn.
Yeah, we
There's a lot
did.
to learn. There's a lot of people you kind of feel stupid, kind of asking questions because
Yeah.
everybody's around you.
We did buy a few things from a few people. Shout out to them. I don't even know their name right now, but to yeah,
We met a few people.
yeah, we met a few people. I mean, I'll look them up right now, but they we bought a few things and they're holding it down
Pretty
pretty
cool.
well. It's pretty
There
cool.
was one specific guy who's from Corvallis. He had a lot of soccer stuff. We don't really meet a lot of people that collect soccer stuff,
Mhm.
and that was all he had. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Um, yeah.
We get people coming to Engelberg's that'll spend hours,
Really?
and we get kind of the same reaction. Oh, man, it's overwhelming. There's so much stuff, and
Yeah.
we're just about 12,500 square foot. So you figure almost 7 times that was this place, and it felt like it was a lot bigger.
You don't get overwhelmed anymore?
Mm, I don't think overwhelmed. It's just like, man, I wish I had more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
process of like looking at things when you will go in? So let's say you go into that 70,000 square foot building. You walk in. What's the first thing you do? You go from the very back to and you work your way out, or you work your way in. Or
That one,
What's
it was 3 buildings that were connected. And I remember going in the front door and it was like, oh my gosh, this place is huge. And that was just the first building. And we kind of, normally I'll, go up the aisles, try to see everything I can. And we got realizing, we're going to run out of time. So we had to start really picking it up and just kind of going by. And if something caught our eye, look real quick and maybe grab something. One of the things we got was weird because I'd never seen one. It was a cast iron Michelin Man. Back in the 60s, they gave them out to the retailers for window displays. They'd like lean a tire on it. And we saw one, the paint was all chipping, and actually Nancy saw it, and she's like, that'd be cool, you don't see that out there. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. And I kind of hemmed and hawed, and we thought, well, we'll come back to it. And got like 2 aisles over, and there's another one.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Okay.
we're grabbing.
Yeah.
So we
Dang.
took that. And
Crazy.
Is there a big difference between picking here versus like the East Coast or
a lot of different stuff.
yeah,
One of the things we have in our booth now is a glass mailbox.
a glass mailbox?
Glass mailbox. Out here, they never really use them, so people don't know what it is.
Do you know what it is? I can't even picture
No.
But back years ago, back east, like in apartments and business buildings, office buildings, they were common, so that way people could look and see if they had mail, whether or not to go check it.
Oh damn! I didn't know that.
But then people got baseball bats, and then
I was gonna say I think the reason is it could be because it's I mean that's where history started. The
Right.
majority of the
older,
Mhm.
older.
you
side
know
of the
they got
country.
more. I don't know how many years they got ahead of the West Coast, but I mean they have something,
well, you
right?
figure you go back to Massachusetts and
That's
on the coast there. That's going back to the
1776.
1600s.
Yeah.
And
So out here, it's
Oregon
like
was what
mid-18s.
Yeah, mid 1866,
dude, this is
1865,
a-
something
yeah,
like that.
big
We got a
difference.
couple hundred years on us.
Mm-hmm.
But I before we do, yeah, we buy some cards from shout out to the VCS cards, and then what's the other guy, dude? Pokey Dad,
Pokey Dad.
Pokey Dad,
Dad.
yeah.
Yeah, he was with his daughter too.
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a lot of stuff, but I do feel I think you do get overwhelmed a little bit more because they're all cards. It's not different things. Because when I walked
Yeah.
into the mall with you guys, me and my daughter, we love it. We're like, we like it because it's so many different things. It's
Mhm.
not just one thing of the same
Right.
thing. So it's like
Every vendor's completely
it's
different.
different, and I think
That's why I always
that's
say we got 60 vendors, so it's 60 different ideas of what's cool.
yeah, exactly. Ours is the best one. You guys should go down
Right.
um,
there. We're making downstairs
downstairs great again.
Yeah.
um, no, our buddy that works at the card shop on Center and 17th, he was telling me that he's like, yeah, he's like, when you go, he's like, don't buy from the first vendor you see. He's like, because you'll spend all your money with on the first or 2nd booth, and then you won't have any more money to like haggle for the rest of the time, right?
Right.
So we literally went around everywhere, and you'd find the same card, and then it'd be half the price, like 2 booths down. I'm like,
And then you get trying to remember, okay, which one was the best price? Which one had the best card?
So what we were talking about was that we think like the best idea really when you're going in and you know you're gonna buy cards is you have to go in knowing what you're specifically looking for. You have to be specifically looking for either one generation or a specific card or whatnot, and then you have to know what it's going for. So then you can kind of go off of that and not know what you're looking for, because then it's impossible to know what thousands of cards are worth. So it's like you can't negotiate or pull your phone out and then try to look things up. You can, but you can't do 50 cards and you know.
So we find that with a lot of estate sales because we're usually real early as possible. So a lot of times we're the first one into the estate sale.
he's got plugs. He knows people in high places.
I know.
If there's coins or jewelry or records or things like that, I don't have a lot of knowledge on them. I have a little bit, and it's tough because, like I say, looking it up, I mean, that's the ideal thing. You go through a stack of records. Okay, look that up. But you got people right there. They're going to shove you out of the way, and they know records, or they know coins or whatever it is, and they'll be grabbing and cherry picking the pieces that you didn't have a chance to look yet. So I find that if there's a box of records and I know there's some good ones in, a lot of times I'll just take the whole box.
Mm-hmm.
We've done that with jewelry. We've done that with coins. It's like I want all of them.
Yeah, because it's a gamble. Either way, it could be that one coin that's going to make everything, or it could be a flop. But I think you have to just get everything, dude, because it does take forever, like trying to look it up. And then you get overwhelmed online because there's so many things. And then next thing you know, it's like,
yeah, it's gone.
I mean, even in the card thing right now, when we were there at the card show, I was like, dude, look it up while I'm like trying to like.
Oh yeah, it was kind of like a teamwork kind of thing. He's like, hey, look this card up while I'm like talking with the guy or whatnot.
Kind of stall them while someone else looks up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we did. We got several stuff that they can check out at Engelberg's.
We got a few things. I mean, we got basketball cards.
Nice.
Did basketball cards or what?
Well, yeah, the
right?
basketball.
Basketball cards. We got.
What year are those from?
This is from 2019-20.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that old. But they had really good rookies that year. So I mean, that's kind of cool. We got a bunch of Pokemon stuff.
I figure LeBron stuff's going to be going real big.
There's a lot of LeBron, LeBron stuff.
Did we get any LeBron? I know you were looking.
No, we got some soccer cards, which are
It was
pretty
probably
cool.
priced up pretty good.
It's so hard.
Some
See,
were.
like we have a little bit of basketball, but we don't really specialize in basketball, and that you can't specialize on everything. So if we find something, we'll like eBay it up and see if it's a good deal or not.
If you guys want this, go down to Engelberg's downstairs.
The Mewtwo card.
Every booth at Engelberg's has a code.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Code AA.
AA.
Pokemon and cards. That's the place to go. AA.
We got this one. This one's the one we really liked right here.
Yeah, that was the one we were going for. Have you heard of this guy, Mbappe? So tell him about Mbappe. He's an interesting guy.
He's an interesting guy.
Is that soccer?
Yeah, it's a young guy. You're probably gonna see a lot of out of our booth at one point because he's 23 years old, young guy.
18, 19,
Wow.
20, 22.
23. He's won the World Cup, which in soccer the World Cup is it's what you want to get.
Yeah.
He had a chance to win it this year.
He won it at 18.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he scored a lot too, so it's not like he was just in the team, like he was involved in it. And then 4 years later, do you know how many World Cups the most famous soccer player has won? Take
I
a guess.
don't follow soccer much. I know so little of it.
Take a guess.
5?
The guy that's won the most World Cups was three World Cups, and he probably would have got 4, but at that point he got a little bit too old, and they had canceled one World Cup because of World War II in 1956. Was it 56? I think it was
Something
56,
like that.
55, 56.
When was the World War II? I don't know.
I think it was 1956. They canceled the World Cup because of the war, and then they did it 4 years later. But he won it 2 years in a row.
Something like that.
I think he won it 2 years in a row.
40s.
Yeah, World War II was 40s.
40s.
Was it,
40s.
maybe it was 46
Yeah.
then. Maybe it was 46.
46.
But yeah, they had canceled that World Cup that year because of World War II. But not a lot, but maybe under 10 players have won it twice. But
Wow.
3 is a big deal. But they're making a huge deal out of this guy because at 18 he won his first one, and then at
So he's got
22
time to.
he made it
Got
to the
time.
semifinals, and they lost, and it was like a last minute thing. Like it was a really really good close game. But he scored a lot this World Cup too. He was really involved. So they're making a
Wow.
big deal
So,
about this kid
Put in
because
perspective, World Cup is every 4 years, so that's why it's like
Oh, okay.
in the
Yeah.
in the career for like any sport an athlete, it's
Right.
what 8 years, 10
if that,
And
I
the-
think the average is like 3 for any sport.
for in
Yeah.
a good form for someone. It's it's different. So imagine winning 3,
Mm-hmm.
dude. I mean, how many years is that already?
Consecutively, that'd be
That's-
12 years. Yeah.
Mhm.
That-
And so
which could have been 16 because of that 4 year gap.
Right.
I
So
think.
it's a big gap. That's why it's
Wow.
because any major tournament. I mean, every year you have it every year.
right.
at
World
that point, it
Series,
does,
Super
you know.
Bowl.
But this is every 4 years, which is interesting. But yeah,
Wow.
we came on those, which are pretty interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think we're selling that one.
Yeah, I don't think we're
Gonna hold it for a
Yeah,
while.
that
Yeah,
one
I
hold
think
on
we're
to.
just gonna set it up here. But you never know.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But I guess going back to the shop, explain to everybody if they want to go visit Engelberg's, right? Every booth has its own unique name or
Yeah. Each booth has its own code.
Not
and
A&A.
yeah, code.
Yeah, it's unique to each one. Some of them are letters. There's a few that are numbers. We use that a lot for, a lot of the vendors have cases that are locked for some of the more valuable things. They'll put in there so the customers will come to us, say, can I get help with case AA?
Mhm.
Or a lot of times they'll come up, I need help with a case. I want something out of it downstairs. Okay, do you know what the code is? The what? Well, there should be a code on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can go look. Well, what kind of stuff is in it?
Yeah.
Well, Pokemon cards.
All
AA.
right.
Let's go.
I got you.
I got
Yeah.
to say no more.
Glass. Okay, we know that one.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we can figure it
I
out by
see.
that. But I mean, yeah, every vendor does something different. We have one that does a lot of T-shirts. One does a lot of sport jerseys. You guys with the sport cards, soccer. I think you're the only ones that have soccer cards. Pokemon. A lot of vendors will get Pokemon stuff, but not the high end like you guys get.
When we were there was only out of all of them. I don't know how many people were there. There was only 2 soccer, and I think one of the guys was pretty busy, huh?
Soccer cards?
Yeah. Right now.
Oh, the one across
Yeah.
across the yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So it's just different markets
Mhm.
for sure.
In that specific case, I think it was more of like he maybe got a good deal on it and didn't really know much about it, but then just sold it. But I don't really think he was really focused on soccer. I think, or I could be wrong.
Yeah, we do get customers that,
Hmm.
I've watched them, or talked to a few that are really into the soccer, and they're like, oh my God, this is so great.
Mhm.
You never find soccer cards.
It's not common. It's
Yeah,
honestly not
yeah.
common. You can't just go and find them. So when they see them, they're like, oh damn. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at
And-
least when I see them, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, dude?
And I tell them, come back because they're always bringing more.
Yeah, exactly.
At this card show, how many vendors do you think there were? Maybe 80.
Probably, man.
Maybe
or
there was
more.
80. But out of those 80, I think only vendors that sold only soccer, there was 2.
Wow.
Vendors that sold any soccer cards, I think there was a total of like 4 maybe. So there wasn't very
Yeah.
much. And I think that's something we're probably gonna try to get into a little bit more. I think
Do
so.
more
I
of the
think
soccer.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. Is there something that you guys have been looking into that you're like maybe you want to look for
I know
specialize
you
on
do
this?
rocks.
Yeah, you
right?
do
We
rocks. You guys
do
you
a
have some
lot of
beautiful
rocks.
Yeah.
When we started doing the rocks, nobody else in there was selling rocks. And
Now
that's something that
everyone-
we've always enjoyed. Do it.
That everyone does them.
There's a couple
Oh,
that,
okay.
try to get on. It's like whenever people notice something selling, it's like everybody starts jumping on that wagon. Like the clothes, the
Yeah.
records. Fortunately, not Pokemon because a lot of people don't know how to get the good stuff. But yeah, the rocks, nobody was doing it, so we started bringing some in, and it wasn't long. People were coming in and going straight to our booth for
Yeah.
rocks. So we just got bigger and bigger with that. Now we've got some great specimens in there. We got that big, 3.5 foot tall
Yeah, I saw that.
amethyst cathedral.
You guys got that Babe Ruth.
Oh, the poster, yeah, the painting.
That thing's
Oh,
really
damn.
nice.
Yeah, that was. It's weird. It's not a lithograph. It's an actual painting. Somebody painted it, but it's an exact copy of the original movie poster for, I think it's Here Comes Babe or something like that. But a movie that Babe Ruth did back in the 20s. So it's a cool picture, cool poster.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And you, wow.
It's just one of those things. I mean, I knew nothing about it, so I grabbed it. You know,
Did you hear this?
I
Did you hear this?
I
We
heard
need
a
to
little
make a big
vibrating
deal
down there.
about
Heard a
this.
little vibrating down there.
Who is it?
My girl.
No, oh yeah. So you need to go home now or what?
No, dude.
No?
Are we done already?
Are we done? we
we
can
done?
leave if we need to leave.
Nancy, are we done?
She's over there just playing on her phone. I'm not here. I'm not here.
She's keeping notes.
Which date was wrong? I'm sure I will.
What is? And you're texting now?
Dude, no.
The disrespect, son.
Dude, I brought her keys.
She's locked out of the house.
Oh,
No, it's not the house, the car. If she needed the car, I brought her keys. So I
Oh.
was like, dude, oh, you know why? Because of your glasses, dude. Your shades. You didn't even wear them today.
What do you mean I didn't even wear them today?
Dude, I remember I gave you your
the glasses, yeah.
I went to her car, grabbed the keys, gave them to you, and then came over here.
But how's that my fault?
Because you wanted your glasses.
Oh.
that's all it takes.
Hey, I let him borrow us a pair of glasses. And I swear it's been like a year and a half, and I barely got them back. And he's like, "Hey, do you want your glasses?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm right here. Give me my glasses."
You know how that is, John. Have you ever let someone borrow something and it's like it takes forever?
So long, you have to ask to borrow them back.
It gets to a point. It's like, I guess I'm not getting them back.
It's like your pressure washer, dude, still at my house.
Oh yeah, talking about the pressure washer. It's been there for 3 years.
I'm like, dude, what are you gonna take it? He's
His-
like, oh yeah, I take it. I take
Hey,
it.
but the funny thing is, his girl asked him when they were cleaning out the garage like a year ago, and she's like, "Hey, when are you gonna give him his pressure washer back?" And
Yeah.
she doesn't want it there anymore. She's like hitting me up to pick up my pressure washer, but he keeps stalling.
As long
It's
as he
not-
kee's it winterized well. And,
Yeah, right. It's not even like he cleans his driveway. He hasn't even used it. He's had it for like 3-4 years.
I only used it once, clean the driveway, and that's it.
Driveway's been dirty for the last
Probably
2
needs to
years.
be cleaned again.
I know. But going back to the rocks, it's interesting. Do you believe in the whole rocks like energy thing? Someone once told me, it's like, you got to be careful what you buy because, if someone with bad energy sells them to you, then that rubs on you. And I'm like, oh, it's interesting. I didn't know that.
I mean, there's people that are really into it, and I try to know a little bit about it so I can, people like rose quartz to find love. People like, amethyst for healing. Some of the jewelry we started selling is Larimar. People like it because, it's supposed to have the highest vibration of any stone. It's supposed to, attract to the throat chakra, so it's supposed to be good for communication. And, the people that are into that, they're like, oh my gosh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty.
Yeah. I see.
We have a case of all of our rocks at home.
Mm-hmm.
They're right next to the TV. We can see them all the time. They're pretty.
Yeah,
They make me feel good looking at them.
There you go.
So
Dude, you're gonna have to go to for Valentine's. Get your girl a rock, dude.
We got one of those
Right.
love rocks he was talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, the rose quartz.
The rose quartz.
Yeah.
Real nice rose
Right
quartz.
now, dude.
Have you watched the episodes of the pickers where they go into like a scary place to like pick? Have you guys ever picked at something somewhere like that where it's?
No, I think probably the sketchiest thing. I bought a couple of dressers, about 200-year-old dressers, and they were up in a barn. And I don't know how they got them up there. We had to tie ropes around them to let them down.
No, no.
And it ended up being a good buy. They're great dressers. They're pretty. We still have one.
Oh, damn.
So they're from 1810, 1820.
Dang.
And what's wild with it, they were refinished in 1990 at a place called Broad Ripple Refinishing, which is just on the northwest side of Indianapolis. I live just a couple miles away from where that was.
How'd you guys run into those dressers?
I think I was doing a sale because before we bought the store, I would do sales out of the garage once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy came by and he says, "Hey, I have a couple dressers. Would you be interested?" I was thinking 1930s, 40s, kind of the waterfall that there's a gazillion of. And I thought, well, I'll come take a look at them. And I saw them. It's like, wow, those are cool. Heavy cherry wood. And so, yeah, so we worked out a deal. And once we got them down, I noticed the label on the back. They'd been refinished. I was like, wow, these are cool.
Dang. Are you selling it? You have it to
Oh,
sell?
yeah. We sold one.
Uh-huh.
We still have the other one to sell.
Dang.
So,
I think one of the things that we learned was not buying heavy things because we're downstairs, so it's
yeah.
not the easiest thing getting things up and down the stairs.
I try to keep my wife convinced of that.
Yes. She
Y'all
doesn't
should-
agree?
Yeah,
Y'all should get an elevator.
Like big 5-foot buffets we try to stay away from.
I bet. Real wood. Dang. I remember when we were bringing our display thing down the stairs, and this guy's the weakest person I know.
Dude, I was like falling.
He was literally falling after like two, 3 steps. If it wouldn't have been for David, I probably would have died.
David?
Yeah, wasn't he the one that like jumped in?
No, it was
There was
John.
something we were bringing up the stairs. It was a big cabinet. It was me and David and Andrew, another one of the vendors. And they were both at the bottom. I was at the top. And I don't know if they took like one step too many, but either way, it put me off balance. So I ended up falling. So I'm on my back with this case on me, and I can't get up because I have to lift it to get up. And it's like trying to pick yourself up in a bucket. And I don't know who, I think Lane finally came down and kept it from going down farther so I could get up. And then we finally got it the rest of the way. But when we first bought the store, downstairs was the furniture area. And the one side, it was just filled with all this old furniture. And it's like, no, you guys got to get that out. We don't want that.
Was that your guys' furniture, or was that
a lot of it was
vendors?
consignment.
It was consignment
Yeah.
furniture.
Were you guys the ones that said, "Hey, let's start moving things around. Let's get other vendors out here," or was it already kind
No,
of?
that was our deal, because it was all like the consignment furniture, and we told them we wanted to get that out because we wanted to put more vendor spaces. And so once they got all the furniture out, we were able to start creating more spaces for vendors. That's how we got up to 60, because I think there was 40 when we first bought the store.
Consignment means what? That they just leave them there?
Yeah, you don't pay them, and then when you sell them, you give them the money. You give them a portion,
I see.
portion of it.
Because some of the pieces have been down there since 2000. I think the oldest
Since
one I found was 2015.
1951.
Yeah.
One thing I find really interesting about that building is how old it is and how many different things it's been.
The building's cool.
Can you talk a little bit about the building?
Apparently, from what I understand, it was originally built in 1905, and it was Paramount Pictures that built it. It was the first
movie company?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the first silent movie theater in Salem.
Oh, okay.
And I believe when they built it, the floor that's on the main floor, there was none. Like up in the front, you'd come in, you go down the stairs, and that's where the seating is what's the basement now. Above the dress shop next door was the projection room, where the projector was. And then in 1925, it became the first Fred Meyer's in Salem, because Fred Meyer's started in Portland, and they opened their first store here, and it was at our store.
Was it the second Fred Meyer's that you ever built?
I don't know which one it was, but it was the first one in Salem.
Okay.
And they, I believe, put the floor in, and there's still one spot behind space DR. If you look up behind the heating duct up on the wall, you can see the letters as QUAR. And I figure it probably said quartz, and that's where the milk was back in the 20s, 30s when it was Fred Meyer's. Around 1940-ish, Fred Meyer's moved out of there, and it became Maryland Shoe Store. And it was Maryland Shoes until, I know, at least about 1970, because one of our vendors, Susan, booth 4 all the way in the back, she bought her high school graduation shoes there in 1969.
Oh.
Dang, shout out to Susan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Booth 4.
Booth 4.
And then we had a customer. After that, it became an indoor miniature golf course. We had a couple customers in a while back, and they were trying to figure out if it was the same place. And so I got talking to them and getting the information. I said, well, this is probably it, because this is it. February 14th of 1974 was their first date. Was in that store when it was an indoor miniature golf. They're still married.
Oh, dude,
so that was cool.
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
And
Damn.
then 1984 was when Henrietta rented it and opened it as Engelberg Antiks. It was actually Engelberg Antiks 2 because she had opened one the same year in Mount Angel. She ended up closing that one, then keeping this one here.
It's been a long time, 1984.
Yeah.
It's
84.
been a long time.
To 21, and then you guys
Yeah,
took over.
almost 40 years.
Dang, that's crazy. Is she still? Still see her around. Is she still a big collector, or does she really?
She
sell
actually
anymore?
does not collect.
She does not collect.
She does not have. You go to her house. There's no antiques there.
Really?
She doesn't collect things. She loves going to the casinos. That's her thing.
Dang.
Damn.
But she started doing this when her husband Ernie retired from the Air Force, for something to do. And a friend of hers from California actually told her, you ought to open an antique mall. And she's like, I don't know anything about antiques. And she goes, no, it's no big deal. You just rent spaces out. And so Engelberg Antiks, the one in Mount Angel, is actually the first antique mall in Oregon. And she just went from there.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I can't believe she doesn't collect. Do you collect?
Rocks,
You
I'd
collect
say, is the
rocks,
main
okay.
thing. We started collecting coins a bit.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I collected coins. As a young adult, I did. And I got a wild hair once to sell my coins and buy goats. The goats died. I thought about it. It's like, those coins never died. They never got sick. I didn't have to feed them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so I
You
should
gotta
have kept
take
the
care of
coins.
them.
Yeah.
Take care of 'em. See, I told you he had to collect. You said you didn't collect.
No, you said you not like. I don't think you collect like before, do you?
Not real.
Right? You just
Yeah, it just
Still
I'd
collect.
have things. I'd accumulate things. Maybe more of an accumulator than a collector.
I think it's crazy that she doesn't collect anymore. I would find that so hard. Like anything I buy, and then I just want to keep it. I don't want to sell it.
It is weird because we'll buy stuff and it's like, man, this is super cool. And my wife's mom is the one that's the tough one because I like doing her mom lives with us. We take care of her. But we'll go out picking and we'll come home with a carload of stuff and we'll have what we call show and tell. So I'll bring stuff in. It's like, oh, look at this, and she's like, oh, that would look great right there. It's like, no, it'll look great in someone else's living room. They're like, we got this. It's like, no, I don't like that. I don't care. Someone else will.
It's going back to the building. It's so old, and last time I was talking to John about it. I asked him if he ever heard any weird noises down there, because you know how they say it's haunted and stuff
Who
like
says
that. Downtown area, all the down,
general
all-
area.
yeah,
Yeah.
the down. He says that some people actually tried to go and see if there's any tunnels down there.
Tunnels?
Yeah, you the same tunnels.
It used to be connected to the tunnels. There is a closet. Now we call it a closet. But it used to be the entrance to the underground tunnels through Salem.
Oh, so there was a tunnel
Oh, yeah.
down there.
I believe under Reed Opera House, you can still get into them.
Really?
But in ours, it had been cemented up and enclosed. And Hank, before he passed away, he was always like, man, I want to bust that wall down and see where it goes. And I've thought about it, and it's like, man, if we break that open, the dampness, the smell, going to have to deal with that.
You'll have an underground network down there.
Right. I don't know where it all goes.
The Reed Opera House.
Yeah.
Get some lunch.
Get around downtown.
Yeah,
Dang,
dude, that's a
crazy.
long time because it is.
I thought there was only underground tunnels for the hospital. I didn't know that the state hospital. I didn't know there was underground tunnels here in the downtown area too.
I haven't followed up a lot to see where all they went.
I know it was downtown area.
Really?
Yeah.
Like during Prohibition at time, or what is this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of because I've heard that a lot of the stores down underneath in the basements there'd be like little speakeasies or bars, that were illegal at the time.
We should have a bar down there, John.
Right.
I think that'd be cool.
Set
You
it
got to
up.
go in through the closet.
You gotta go through the closet and go
Dang.
through all of that.
Yeah.
VIP only.
Yeah.
Dang.
Damn.
But no, we have had odd noises and things happen. When after Hank passed away, actually before he passed away, he had a lot of stuff stored downstairs in the back rooms. And at night when I would close, the light switches for downstairs are there's a set of stairs in the back. They're right at the top. And almost every night I'd turn those lights off and something at the bottom of the stairs, I'd hear it, clunk or slide, but something move. So I always looked at, when I shut the lights out, I don't go downstairs.
I don't blame you.
Nope.
I'm the
I'll
same
stay up.
way.
I'm out.
I'm the
And-
same
I ain't
way.
going down.
Yeah. And once they got everything out, all
You're
that
like, Nancy,
stuff-
you need to come with me downstairs.
after we bought the store, they took everything out and took it out to Henry's house. It stopped. And I was telling her about it. I said, so whatever was down there is now in your garage.
Oh, damn.
And she was like, oh, gee, thanks. And
Damn.
what was it, about a month ago, babe? I can get her to talk.
Yeah.
We were
Nancy
there
said
early.
she wanted her own episode, so she's like, I'll
Right?
be on next week.
We were there. We get in early, 8:30, 9 o'clock every morning. And I was out blowing the sidewalk off. And she had gone back, turned the lights on or something, but she came running out the front door and she's like, get in here. There's somebody in the building. And I'm like, yeah, we had the alarm set. The doors are locked. And so I went in and had her stay up front, so she could watch the front stairs and watch the cameras. And I went down in the back and searched, and there was nobody in there.
Mhm.
But what she heard was sounding like a toad, like somebody dropped it and slid it, just like what I used to hear.
Yeah. Damn.
And
What do you
But
think? What do you think that is?
figure as old as the building is,
It's a lot of
the things that have been
history.
in there.
Yeah.
Since 1984, all the items that have gone through there, who knows?
What do you, but what do you believe in? Do you think it's a spirit? What do you think? What do you believe in?
It could be. It's hard to say. I mean, it very easily could be ghosts in there.
Yeah, that scares the crap out of me. My dad's been a janitor for years. He does floors and just all janitorial.
Mhm.
And he used to go into the building. What is
Cascade.
it? The tallest building in Salem, right?
Oh, the Capitol Tower?
Yeah,
Capitol
Capitol Tower.
Tower. And he said that one time he was doing stripping wax on a floor down in the basement, and he says that he was by himself, and that he had just turned on back when they had they're not speakers. What were they, like radio? What are
The
they called?
walkie-talkies?
No, dude. Like where you listen to the radio. What are they called? Dude, you're from the 80s. You should know.
Like a boombox?
Boombox.
Like just a boombox.
It's like-
And he had just turned it on, and he says that he just literally walked away, and that he heard a big like glass mirror just drop and shatter, and there was no one downstairs, and that he like freaked out and ran out of the
Yeah.
building. And when they went downstairs, there was no glass
Nothing there.
anywhere.
I've heard stories from that place. A lot of janitorial people
Mhm.
had
Because
a,
they're there at night.
yeah,
so it's
because
like,
they're at
Yeah.
night. And they're like, they say it's the basement. They say like kind of like everywhere else is it's the basement is where they hear stuff. They're like, we ain't clean that shit. They're like,
yeah,
we're out.
Well, we'll hear things at times. We'll be up front, after we close and it's kind of quiet. We're in the morning, and it'll sound like somebody walking,
Yeah.
over on the back aisle. And I'll look at her. She'll look at me and it's like, "Did you hear that?"
You're
Yeah.
used to it. It's like
Um,
those creepy dolls that what's his name, Alex
Did-
had.
Yeah.
Dude, did you ever see those?
yeah.
They were like in the front.
I don't do those. He
Dude.
started getting some of those creepy dolls too. I'm like, dude, we're
Dude,
not selling this.
those are
We
just.
had one, and this is before we got in
Oh,
there.
yeah, I saw that.
Um,
Oh no.
What was her name? Can't think of her name. The doll's name. Lily. Jeff, who used to be the manager there, I guess his friend Vince had made this doll or gotten this doll somehow at an estate sale in Portland, but they started experiencing weird things at home.
Oh,
And so
damn.
they locked it in a glass case, and they ended up putting it in the store.
They locked it in a glass case.
Yeah. And Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures, the TV show, he came up and he actually bought it.
Because he heard of it, or he just
I
drove by and
don't know if he had heard of it or how it all came about for him to be there, or they're doing a ghost hunting episode in the store. But he ended up buying it, and it's in his museum in Las Vegas.
Oh damn.
And he said it's one of the 5 most haunted items he has.
Really?
So
How much
that's
you
what
buy
he
it for?
I don't know what it was.
Damn.
So that's
Free.
before.
Yeah, he's trying to get rid of it.
Dude, that's crazy. Do you remember? You guys remember showing me that video? That doll you guys had.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
hear
what
about
happened? Something
this.
fell. The cross.
There was a doll in a case on top of the shelves right behind the register next to the mirror. And Nancy was sitting in the stool right next to it. I was at the counter. And there was an old antique French crucifix sitting on top of it. And we were talking. I was ringing a customer or something. And just for no reason, the crucifix just fell off, like it flew off there. And it's like, how did it do that? And we went back, put it back up, tried to recreate it. And to hit the shelf hard enough to knock it down, we had to really hit the shelf. And it's like, that didn't do
The
it.
video just looks like it's just.
Yeah,
it's
it's just
different, dude. It's not like it looked like it just like someone
Yeah.
grabbed it and just. It was those creepy dolls. You never saw them?
yeah.
Did he ever get more? Has he gotten more?
I don't know if he may have gotten another one, but they sell pretty quick.
Oh,
Dude,
really?
They want those, yeah.
Damn.
It's funny, the crucifix we still have. It's in booth 100. But the doll got sold.
How long ago did the doll that was locked up in the box get sold?
That's probably been 4 or 5 years, I think.
Did you hear about the Ghostbusters people coming down and they filmed an episode at the Enchanted Forest? I wonder if those are the people.
Same guys, yeah.
Same guys.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures.
Ghost Adventures. Yeah. Do you hear about that?
There's
That's
a
a
lot of
creepy
stuff
place.
there,
That's a
yeah.
creepy
Really?
place
Is
to
there?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a full
Really?
episode there. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Because that's supposed to be a haunted area too, and it's supposed to be a pretty haunted area too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think a lot of that goes back to the the Indian days, the Native American times, is where a lot of those spirits they say came from.
Oh, damn. That's interesting.
So people have gone through Engelberg's, and I've heard different stories that downstairs are supposed to be. I've never seen it. An old man in a rocking chair.
Oh, shit.
Oh hell no!
On the other side.
Okay, go with me downstairs from now on.
I know.
Henrietta and Lori, her daughter, have both seen a little girl.
Oh, damn, dude.
I haven't seen that. We've had customers. A lot of them say that back in the back in booth 4, they sense things, something native there, because the one said he saw feathers. The doorway in the went to the old tunnels. I always kind of have fun with that. People always ask, what's behind that door? What's behind that door? Oh, we don't go in there. We don't open that. Nope. I tried opening it once. No, just
next time you see someone talking to someone and you think they're talking to themselves, they're probably talking to someone.
Could be.
Have you seen that, dude?
What?
Have you seen when
we get a lot of those?
Dude, there was a video from Argentina that I don't know if it was. It just looks legit. Like this, the door opens. The electric doors, the sliding doors opens. He greets him. He gets up his seat. Opens gets that little, what do they call that, divider to the string, whatever, and he's like talking to her, taking notes. Like, yeah, come over here. Gets a wheelchair for her, pushes her, and there was no one there the whole time. And people are like, dude, this person passed away already 2 days ago at this hospital, and he freaked out.
Dude, I'd freak out too.
Yeah, that'd be.
It's you never seen that?
I never heard of that.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
That you legitimately see someone, you're talking to someone, and people say that it's a real person, but the camera doesn't capture anything. They're like, who are you talking to, dude? It's like, dude, this person here is like, there's no one there.
Dang.
Dude.
If I'm ever talking to someone, John, you do not tell me I was there on no bone.
Who are you talking to, Al?
You do not tell me that.
Dude, that's it. Hey, don't go on the other side. That's the place that you don't want
I'll
to
tell
be.
you one thing that was weird when Hank passed away. I'd had this happen once before, but I was seeing Hank. We were at the hospital, I think, for my mom, and I saw Hank walking down the aisle. It wasn't him. We were driving a couple different times, and I saw him in parking lots, and it wasn't him.
I think if you knew the guy, it would be less creepy, though, because you're not scared because you knew him, right?
But this is before he passed.
Oh, okay.
And I told his mom, I was talking to her, it's like, I'm worried about Hank. And I kind of explained it to her, and it was like 2 weeks after that he passed away.
Dang.
And I've had that happen once before with somebody that passed away. And so now it's like, well, Lori's husband said, if you see me, don't say nothing.
I was going to say the same thing.
Don't tell me.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
How many? Who works there? It's Alex, Elaine.
No, Alex doesn't work there no more. David.
Sorry,
Alex's husband. Yeah.
David. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
David.
David and Elaine, they help us out. Nancy and I, we own it. We're there most of the time. David's kind of our right hand. If we're not there, he's us. We have Dale helping out a bit now. He's vendor Bob. Yeah, his name is Dale, but his booth is Bob.
Yeah.
What do you call it? His alternate ego?
Alternate ego? Is he bald?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I saw him last time.
Yesterday, I was looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And because we can look at the cameras from our phones, and it was the back of him there at the register, and it's like, is this yesterday?
I wasn't here.
That's Dale.
He's about to start.
Yeah, because my daughter, she's like, "Is that someone new?" I was like, "I don't know. I've never seen him. I think that's John's brother or something." I was like, "I don't know. I don't know who he is."
That's Dale.
Yeah.
And then Sarah, SJS. She helps out a couple
She
days
has a
month.
booth down there, right?
Yeah, SJS,
It's the
yeah.
one right to the right. You walk the stairs to the right.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then Andrew MT is supposed to start helping out here before long.
I don't know who
So-
Andrew is.
I've never met Andrew either. So everybody that works there has a booth there.
Right.
That's cool. Are you guys planning on expanding?
The walls don't move.
Adding another building?
Um,
Hey, that basement.
right. Yeah. Right now, no. I thought it'd be cool, but it's a lot of work.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
You don't need
We
days
spend-
off.
Yeah, we don't really get days off.
Yeah.
Did
See,
you?
it'll be the same.
Tomorrow's supposed to be a day off.
Oh, tomorrow's the day off?
Yeah, I'm not sure which sale we're going to tomorrow.
Did you know? You know the wedding, dress place
Yeah.
that used to be part of it.
Right.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it used to go all the way across. I think it's about 10 years ago. Lang LLC bought the building. Vien, who owns a dress shop, is part of Lang LLC. It's her and her siblings. And
They own
she
the
wa-
whole building?
They own the whole building.
Oh, okay.
And she had another dress shop downtown, but she wanted to put it in there, so they remodeled. Made a little dress shop for her there. Then kind of Henry moved around a little bit on her side and went on. But she's I think a great landlord.
Yeah,
I work with them really well. They work with us well.
that's good. That's always
So
good.
it's-
Have you met her?
I've seen them. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen the persons that work there. I
Yeah.
mean,
Alex, David's wife, works for Vien.
oh, okay.
So that's why you still see Alex around a lot, because she works for Vien
Mhm.
in the dress shop.
Did
so.
she work there before too? With you guys?
She did for a while, yeah.
Oh,
She was a seamstress at Nordstrom. She worked with my girl for.
She was a what?
Vien, yeah.
She was a seamstress at Nordstrom.
oh, okay. Oh, at when you go work at Nordstrom.
Yeah.
I see.
I think
Yeah.
she still works at Nordstrom up in Portland.
Oh, does she drive all the way up
Um,
there?
So many days a week, or
That's
not
cool.
a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
but
she knows her craft. They don't want to
Oh,
lose
yeah.
people like her. Yeah, she's
She's really
really
Yeah,
good.
she's
Yeah.
good at it, and man, she's a hard worker.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure. Man, you guys need to have another shop, man. We need another booth. we need to expand.
to
We need
home.
we need to expand.
What's Have you ever seen something that you really liked from a booth? Like you're selling it, people bring it up, you're bringing it out. You're like, oh damn, this is actually pretty cool. Or is it every single thing? Like,
I see a lot of things, and it's. I mean, my preferences change day to day.
Mhm.
One day I may see a record I like. One day I may see, a toy that I like. Things like that. But we've sold a Kit and Lori from Ranch Records. They have a booth there, and a couple of the records come up. It's like, man, I'd like that. We just sold a still sealed Grateful Dead album from when they did the show in Veneta, Oregon. It was a high end record. It's like, that'd be cool, but I mean, I have no reason for it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm not going to spend that much on a record either.
yeah, exactly.
How far out do you guys drive on your days off to go to?
We don't go real far. We stay kind of local. We took a trip, went down to Springfield a few weeks ago. Went down to Time Travelers Antique Mall. We like to look at other antique malls, see how they're doing things, how they're set up, and get ideas, research, learn prices of things, see what other people are getting on stuff.
Is there a couple shops that you guys favor, that you guys really like and enjoy going to, in like the area?
A rock shop, a rock guy.
A rock guy.
Rock Castle down in Turner, or not Turner, Waterloo,
Where's Waterloo?
between Sweet Home and Lebanon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where's Sweet Home in Lebanon?
But I've known him for a while, and we get a lot of our rocks from him.
Have you ever bought from the auction guy out in Rickra?
Paul.
Paul? Yeah, Paul
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thompson.
they're the ones that.
So
the ones
is
that
that
told
an
me.
online only thing, or is that in person too?
No, he's in person.
He's in person.
We've bought through him. We bought a little bit through Capital Auction. We bought a few things up in Aurora at McLaren Auctions. There's a new auction house in Salem Auction House, Jake Waldy. We bought some stuff from him. I kind of like his deal.
Is it pretty easy buying from an auction?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like live auctions better, but anymore there's not that many. A lot of them are going online.
Yeah,
But I like the live auctions because it's the excitement.
it is exciting.
And you see something cool, and if you're not careful, you can get in a lot of trouble fast.
Get in a lot of trouble. I used to go to a coin club, to a couple of different coin clubs, one in Salem and one in Independence, and they would do it was once a month, and they would do an auction too for coins, and that was really cool too.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, it was mostly older people, and when I was younger, they would never outbid me because there was not a lot of young people that were into coins, so they would like
Keep you interested.
try to keep me interested. And then once I started getting a little bit older, they didn't really care, so they would like outbid me. So things changed quickly. But I just haven't had time. But I want to increase what we have in coins, and I've been meaning to like go out to more of those kind of things.
I think coins will do good there because we do get people coming in looking for coins. Ted Booth, he has a lot of coin, not a lot, but he has coins, and really them and you guys. The few you have are the only two that do coins.
I really like tokens too. I was really into tokens several years ago, and I still have a lot of them. But those are just one of those things where I say I'm gonna sell them, but I just can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Have you seen a lot of tokens?
A few, not a lot. We've had people come in asking for old game tokens, like old Chuck E. Cheese tokens and things like that. But
So the tokens that I'm talking about, like they used to use as money. So like
car wash
scripts-
tokens?
Huh?
Car wash tokens?
No.
tokens?
Like scripts. Have you heard of scripts?
yeah.
Like scripts. Did I ever show you those? It was like leather money you used to buy things with.
Yeah.
No.
And they would just have books with like coupons. So like Tillamook cheese would have like 25-cent coupons, 10-cent coupons. Everything was like under 50 cents. It was.
Ration books.
Is that what they were called?
During the war?
Books? Yeah, during the war. Yeah.
Because everything was rationed during World War II. And those are cool.
Those
they
are
come up every
super
now
cool.
and then.
I have a lot of those. I really like. If you come across those, you need to sell those to me.
I have a few of them.
I won't resell them.
Yeah. I've got some that actually from my grandmother.
Really?
Yeah, when she passed away.
I'll have to show you some of the ones I have. I'll have to bring them in to show you. But they used to have they would make money off of leather too, off of
really?
what was it, cow skin or
Something like that, yeah.
some sort of skin that they would use, and it'd be like $1, it'd be 50 cents, it'd be 25 cents. But I thought that kind of stuff is really cool, but you don't really hear about that very often, and when you talk about it, not a lot of people really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the old ration books.
Ration books. Now I
'Cause
know
they
what
were only allowed so much of stuff, and if you ran out of your ration stamps, for flour, you couldn't get no more flour
Yeah.
or beans or whatever it was you wanted.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's your longest vendor there?
Probably Jim Dilbert.
Who's
Booth JD.
where's
I think
upstairs,
he's
downstairs?
Upstairs, on the left side, straight in, not quite halfway on the left. When you
What
get
is
past
he-
the kitchen,
does he have, like,
1,
shirts
2,
and stuff?
3. He has a few shirts in there, a lot of rusty stuff. But I think he's either 17 or 27 years.
Oh damn.
17
Yeah.
or 27. Damn.
Do you remember which it is? 27?
27
Is
years.
is that all he does, or what does he do?
No, he just does it because he enjoys it.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I've heard stories about
There
that.
we
His
go.
booth was always one to check for, jewelry.
John, we can't keep going. We got to acknowledge this.
It's my alarm.
Oh, is that what we call it now?
Listen, my phone's off. I know Alan turned his off because I kind of busted his chops here at the beginning.
You saw me turn my phone off.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
Damn, do you have to text your alarm back or what?
dude, no one ever calls me or text. Dude, I don't know.
Until tonight.
I don't understand.
Yep.
No, I'm telling you.
That's what we call it.
I don't even know why I have an alarm right now, dude. What time is it? 8? Shit.
That's what it is.
Another one, John. Dude.
You don't have any luck left.
No, yeah, it's true.
Especially,
Actually, I'm gonna get you one. That'd be funny to see you drop it.
dude.
So, here we go.
Joe Morrow.
Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
Dude, he's not the catcher though. He's the thrower. Ooh,
Yeah,
there
that
we
was a
go.
bad throw.
There we go.
That was a bad throw, dude.
Dang. So 27 years.
27?
27. Yeah.
Dude, I thought you said
Because he just did his
27.
own anniversary sale and did 27% off in his booth.
that's older than you, dude.
Dude, I just turned 27.
No, dude, you're a 2000 kid.
No, I just turned 27.
Damn.
John, do you think he was born in '89? Is he an '80s baby or is he a '90s baby? This is you need
That's
to settle
kinda
this.
right on the
We need to
thing.
settle
So
this.
you're a '90s baby because you grew up in the '90s.
See, now he calls me
Yeah.
a 2000s kid, but I was born in '96.
You were born in '99.
I was born in '96, so it's like that's almost halfway through the '90s. But '89, he's got to own it. He's an '80s baby.
Nancy, what do
Yeah,
you think?
you're-
Is it a
what-
'90s baby? There you go. See, '90s.
What do you think, John?
See, I was born in '65. I don't remember a lot of the '60s.
You remember
lot
the
of
70s?
people don't. Yeah,
A lot
Right?
of people don't remember
the
what part of
'60s much. Yeah,
It was
But yeah,
crazy
it's-
years.
I remember the '70s, but I was a kid of the '60s. Kind of like right on the thing of baby boomers and whatever the next one was.
That's him.
So
He's
it's
on
like
the
don't
verge
quite
too.
fit.
No.
Yeah.
Verge would be if I was born in '85.
So what do you consider yourself then?
'70s.
'70s, I remember the most '70s, but I'm a '60s kid. That's when I was born.
See,
But
Own
he's
it.
60
proud
but I
of
was
it.
in the
He's,
middle.
he's in the
65.
middle. He's in the
Yeah.
middle. Dude, I was born in '89, like almost like '90.
You were born in the beginning of '89. It
Dude,
was January, first
still.
month. I don't know. We haven't settled this, but I still think he's an '80s baby.
What's your newest one? What, probably weeks in?
Newest
Your-
vendor?
Yeah.
Oh. We have one. I don't know if I'd call her new because her sister has a booth,
Mm-hmm.
and her sister's kind of helping her out, getting started, kind of teaching her. And
Mm.
so if that's the case, yeah, a couple weeks there. But we've been full, and
Yeah.
vendors haven't really been leaving.
I've noticed that. So I've noticed that when we got there, there was a few people just kind of leaving at that point. They're like,
Mhm.
hey, this is kind of like starting to transition into something different. Did you notice that? Did you see that?
It a little bit because I know when we first went in, there was a lot of empty spaces. When Hank was still alive, there was still quite a few empty spaces. I'd come into the store in the mornings, and a booth that was empty would be jam packed with boxes and totes because Hank went out and bought something and had a place to store it.
He'd be
You
hiding
know,
his stuff
yeah.
there.
But yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, especially since we bought in it,
Yeah.
the
It's-
I think because the sales have picked up so much, people are doing better, so they're just not leaving.
Downstairs is the place to be. Engelberg's, downtown Salem.
It's
Prime real estate.
downstairs picked up a lot.
You,
yeah.
you walk in, you go downstairs.
You-
Don't pay attention to the top.
Well, when you come in the door, that first booth on the right, yeah, pay attention to that.
It's on your way. It's on your way through there.
Did you I forgot what I was gonna ask you, but
I noticed that a lot of the vendors are really young now. Is that new or has it
It-
always been like that?
I think we have a lot more young vendors now than there used to be. That's one thing we've kind of transitioned to is to attract younger people in, because a lot of the antique stores that you look at, they hold tight to antiques. They want old stuff. They're struggling. There's not that many antique buyers, and we got to do something to attract the younger buyers in because they're the antique buyers of the future. So they come in for Pokemon cards. They could care less about antique, 1800s things. Same with Dylan with his T-shirts, booth 29. So the young people are coming in for those things. But they're passing all this other stuff, and it's getting into them. They're seeing it. And a few years from now, when they start, getting their own place, decorating it, and think, I remember seeing this one cool thing,
yeah,
and start getting involved in the antique.
that's
side.
true. That's true.
So it's kind of resurging.
Subconsciously, they
Yeah.
will remember where they saw
Mhm.
something. You've been there for a while. Do you see? I'm sure you've had vendors there for. What's the shortest run that someone has a month? Been there like a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I mean, you don't know. You don't have to say who it is. It's
yeah.
just
He was what, 2 months? Yeah,
2 months.
months.
2 months. He had never done it before.
Mhm.
He's always enjoyed collecting antiques. So that was kind of a hard thing to price the stuff that he loved. He's has a job, his own business, so he's really busy with that, and just didn't have time to really come and work on it. So
Besides that, like, over time, maybe you had someone for a year or less than a year, or people struggle to really. What do you think they're? What do you think they do wrong? They just don't pay attention? They just it's is their booth a mess? Like for like any advice for people that are trying to do that? Like
I read a thing recently on Facebook. If you treat reselling like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby.
Mhm.
If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. Biggest thing I tell vendors is come into your booth, clean it up, move things around, stuff like that. We had one vendor that was really struggling, and I had her come in. So we sat and looked at her booth, tried to figure some things we could do a little different to get things noticed better. And I tried to tell her, it's like, come in once a week. Because she'd come in like once a month and get her check, maybe go down and look at the booth, and that'd be it. But I told her, come down and touch things. Just touch it, move, just shuffle things around a little bit. I said, it like puts energy into it to where people will look at it. And we did that day, and the very next day, she sold like $75. For her, that was huge. And I even called her up and said, look, here's what happened. And she was like, oh my gosh, well, go down and touch everything in my booth again. It's like, no, you're missing the point. You come and do it. It's your booth. It's your store.
Hey, John, go fix that. Hey, John, camera tell me that's a little bit off to the right.
just come and touching things, moving things, putting new things out, rotating, just giving the booth attention. Because we have a lot of customers that come in pretty regular. And if they walk by and it all looks the same, they're not going to spend a lot of time looking at it. But when things get shuffled around, it could be the exact same stuff, just in different places, and it gets attention again. So that's one of the biggest things. That and having merchandise. We had one vendor recently. He just recently moved out. Won't name names.
For sure.
But we see him at sales. In fact, we saw him at a sale the other day, and he had his bag. And I was like, dude, I said, let me see that. And I took it from him, and he kind of, what do you. I said, here's how these work. And I opened it up. I said, if you open it, things can go in it. So you can buy some stuff. Oh, I'm not in the mood to deal with you today.
Damn.
John's got jokes.
Yeah, uppercut, boom. Damn.
But just, I try to, encourage people, because I want all of our vendors to be successful. We bought the store, and we don't look at it, what can we do for our success? We look at it, what can we do to help the vendors be successful? Because if all the vendors are successful, we're going to be successful.
Yep.
But if we turn it around and worry about us, the vendors can all, flounder, and eventually we're going to be right there with it.
Yeah, I see that though. Going and turn on the light every morning.
Well, you don't do that.
No, that's what I'm saying. In our place.
Yeah. There's a lot of little tricks that we've learned too throughout the time over the last 6 months, 7 months. And I meet a lot at work. I meet a lot of people, and they'll like tell me that they like resell things. And then if the conversation comes up, I'll like let them know that we have a booth too. And I met this lady, and she lives in Dallas, and she sells it's like jewelry, but it's like I don't remember what country she said she buys everything from, but I don't remember what country, but it's some country in South America where she'll buy like bracelets and stuff. They're like leather goods and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I gave her your guys' information. She said that she was wanting to get into an antique shop like like your guys', and I told her we had one and we really liked it. And she was just telling us about. I was telling her, she was asking me what was selling, what was not selling, and then she's like, "You need to try this." She's like, "Increase the price by $10." She's like, and by increasing it by that amount is just gonna look a little bit more expensive, and people are gonna think that it's just more valuable, and that it. And it's just those like little things. We tried it with something that he had that had been sitting for a while, and then a week later it sold. Yeah, and it'd been sitting there for 4 months.
It's perceived value.
It's perceived value, and that's just mind blowing that I would have never came up with. But those just like little tips that people will give you.
I mean, you don't want to get to the point of pricing it, out of the park.
Right.
But perceived value. I mean, if you have two exact same items, your two beers, you put one on a shelf for $1, you put one over here for $5. Well, that $5 one's worth more. They're exactly the same.
Yeah, you're like, why
Why?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out
This part
why.
tastes better.
Yeah.
Like it's better, this is I think that's what it is for sure.
And because by pricing it so low, it's like Dylan with his T-shirts. We really worked with him, to bring his prices up a bit, and because he had priced them so cheap, so there was no value to them, but he's brought them up a little bit. There's still, excellent bargains on shirts, but it's a little bit better, so they have value to them now, and that helps a lot.
That's what we learned.
Yeah, it's interesting, but you'll be surprised. Like, damn, dude, you do this, you move it here instead of here. It was
He's a marketing expert now.
No, I think I've never done it, but I feel like I don't have to really look into it to really. He did tell me about the price, and that was different. But everything else is more visual, more like this, that. It's for me, it's all
How
the
it's
visual,
displayed,
right?
Yeah.
It's how it's displayed, or work with what you have, right? Because yes, it could be a little bit better if we actually do this, but what we have now, this is what it is, and I think that's what I like. I like having it. These are the tools I have now. I'm gonna make it work no matter what.
Right.
And visually, it's how you present it, right? And it's like I was telling Nancy earlier. It's like, yes, you're gonna have people going in for the cards that know what they want, people that don't know what they want, and people are just wandering around, don't even know they like Pokemon, but they'll buy, right? Because of the display that you have. The display is like impulse buy. I want to just buy this.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm buying it. I just want to buy it. That's the
See, we get that a lot. People come in. It's like, well, I just came in looking for hairpins, and they've got Pyrex dishes. They've got this and that and the other. I always come out with more than what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's the same.
You want to be
it's
the
how
target
it's-
of vintage.
Yeah, target of vintage. Target.
Yeah,
Target. But yeah, it's awesome. I really like the shop. I really like what you guys are doing. I think the bottom section, taking all the dude, I forgot
All that old furniture. Yeah.
Spotlight.
the old furniture.
We've had a lot of compliments on
ESLs.
that.
The furniture. I think that's awesome. I think everything is moving the right direction. I think what I see is it's gonna be a little different because first year owning it, now you're gonna be another year, and
It's, they say if you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day.
there you go.
We haven't worked in over a year.
We
We love it.
Day off.
Day off.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Working.
Where's
But
John? Over here.
When we first took over, I think the first thing that I started to do to make changes there was the lighting. Because they had those fluorescent lights in there. They were nice, but they just weren't great. And so I went and I bought, I think, 800 LED tubes of 6,500 Kelvin, that nice daylight color. And as soon as I started changing them and cleaning those light fixtures upstairs, people were coming in. It's like, oh my gosh, did you remodel? Did you make it bigger?
Yeah.
It's like, no, we just changed a few lights. So we changed all the lighting, and people have really loved that. It makes things look better, the different color. We've cleaned the carpet. We vacuum regularly. So a lot of the smells that used to be in there aren't there. I hear that a lot with the downstairs, that people used to complain about the smell.
Maybe before because of the furniture. Because I remember downstairs when me and my daughter would go, we didn't really go downstairs. Downstairs was like,
A lot of people said it was creepy.
It was just
dark and
it was different. It was just I think you actually did have the lights, but you had a lot of furniture, and it did smell. It smelled like just 1900s or I don't know, but it
old
just,
furniture in the attic.
It smelled like the 80s.
it just the 89.
It smelled like
but me and my daughter wouldn't go downstairs. We're
Yeah.
like just didn't, whatever. We like going, but downstairs wasn't a thing for
Right.
us. But now it's like that's the hip place. Y'all make sure to check it out.
Yeah, it is a hip place. They got the shirts. A lot of people are selling clothes downstairs, vintage clothes. I always see people roaming through the clothes. That
Ray
sells a
Booth.
lot.
That's the one
Amadea
that has the
and
two
Madison, yeah.
sections now, right? They must
Yeah.
be doing really good because
They
have,
started out with a half space.
Yeah. See.
They kicked butt with that. They got a full space. They rocked it.
I like the
They're
one
in a
next to
double.
us, two down. I really like the
The one with the newspaper.
newspaper.
Oh,
that
yeah,
that looks
503.
nice.
Mariah.
That looks the newspaper and all that.
That's really interesting.
We need to get that cooler in here or that fridge.
She's got a
It looks like a safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it works anymore. I think when they brought it in, they laid it down. And because they plugged it in, they said it doesn't seem to work now.
Damn, half off.
Half
So,
off.
yeah. But it's super cool. When they brought it in, I was like, oh, that's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Is
dude.
it heavy?
I haven't picked it up.
Dude, it's
No.
not a real.
It's
safe,
like a little
man.
fridge.
I
Yeah,
know it's not a real safe, but you never know, dude. Maybe it's a heavy mini fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does look cool.
That looks
It's
pretty
neat.
awesome. And then Mike just showing you guys, huh?
Yeah,
Very back now.
he started out with just a half. Then quickly, a space opened up in the back. He moved into it. We kind of rearranged a little bit. Now he's got the whole back area downstairs.
He got the scary space.
right. You gave it to scary. Damn. How long y'all been friends?
There was one day not long ago. We caught a couple of kids trying to go back behind that wall. And I think Elaine caught him and say, hey, you can't go back there. That's private. And I came down, and the girl was on the floor because there was like a hole for a vent with her phone trying to stick it through the vent. And I came by and looked at her. I said, did you lose something? Yeah, one of my earrings. And I said, okay. I said, what's your fascination with the backside of that wall? She goes, well, I heard it's haunted. I said, oh, no, that's the other end of the building. And I told her about the door, and they're like, really?
Yeah.
So what was she looking for, spirits down there? Or
I
what?
guess,
don't know,
had like a
dude.
little
Maybe
something on her phone to,
Maybe sounds.
yeah, like a little spirit box or something.
I don't know, dude.
Dang,
Maybe
we should make
Ghostbusters
But it was
advertising an
funny.
app or something.
Yeah,
we should make a big deal about it. Tell them that there's haunted spaces so people can walk around.
right.
We can get people.
We
in
should
there
put like a
Well-
talking Pikachu down there or something.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I wanted to do, David, in his former life when he lived down in L.A., he was a
Former
prop
life.
master.
David? He was a
David,
what?
he was a prop master in theater.
Oh,
So this
yeah,
guy
yeah,
can
yeah.
do amazing stuff.
Damn, dude.
What's a prop
And-
master?
They make the props for movies and TV shows and theater. So he does that or used to do that.
Dude, we should get him in here.
We will. Get
Well,
him
we
in
were
there.
gonna. I told him, I said, what we ought to do is rig up something down into that closet to like rattle the doorknob or something, scratch on the door, but be able to control it from upstairs, so that when we're looking on the camera and we see somebody back there by the door, getting nosy.
Dang.
Just make sure Alan
Make
don't
sure
go
I'm
down
not
there.
Dude, you're gonna make me cry, John.
He'll go running.
Yeah, I'll run,
Dude, so watch out, rocking chair with the old man, little
Right,
girl running,
little girl,
little girl, and who else? That's it, huh?
and the totes
the
dropping
toads?
and sliding.
Toads.
Yeah.
The toads, you can live with the toads, I'm sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude.
See, when we went down there, there was no toad out of place.
Yeah.
Nothing had been moved.
There's no totes allowed downstairs no more.
Oh, we got a whole room up.
Damn.
We got a room full.
Dude, but yeah, that building's is, I mean, it's one of the originals downtown.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, 1905. Well, Reed was built
18 something,
I think it was
47.
1890s, 1880s, somewhere late 1800s,
Right.
mid late. But from what I understand, Court Street is what used to be Chinatown.
Yeah, you were telling me the other day. Yeah.
So that
I didn't know there was a Chinatown.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. It was, Chinatown.
The bank over on the corner, Liberty and State, has all the windows on Liberty.
U.S.
one?
Bank.
With-
US
Yeah, I think
Bank.
so. Yeah,
Mhm.
they got all those pictures of Salem back in the
Oh,
old days.
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It looks like an old building too.
Whenever I walk by, I always look and check out
Which
the
one?
pictures.
The one next to Taproot.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the corner.
Yeah, you could tell that's a.
Mm.
Jorge's been working on this for the last 6 months. This is supposed to be a map of downtown Salem.
Salem?
Yeah,
Early Salem for the buildings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it's been 6 months. So, I mean, it's still in the works.
Well, that's cool. It
Yeah.
took more than 6 months to build Salem.
See? There you Dude, I'm just going by the timeline, dude.
You'll be done in 10 years.
Dude, that street was.
You working on the tunnels or what?
That's what it is. He's doing the tunnels
Yeah.
now.
Dude, the tunnels now.
He's underground.
Dang. I didn't know that those. So when you walk into Engelberg's, there's those little glass squares,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that means that there's a basement.
Mm-hmm.
And now that that I'm walking downtown, I see them all over the place.
I like them at night when
Yeah,
the
'cause
light's on down below and it comes up in all the purple.
Yeah, that looks really cool, and I
Yeah.
didn't know that was.
I'm sure it used to look really nice before when they were fresh.
Oh, I'm sure.
I knew that when we went to Seattle. We took a underground tour for Seattle. It was pretty cool. They're like, oh, anytime you guys see this anywhere, usually in any city, that means because they had an underground. We're like, oh shit! And then from there, every time I see that, I'm like, underground.
I think they used to use them for vent.
Oh really?
Way back in the days.
Air goes through those or what?
Not no more.
But they used to.
But I think they once upon a time they may have just been grates for for circulation in the basements.
They lied to me then. They're like, hey, anytime. I'm like, oh.
But yeah, now it's there's a basement there.
You guys went on a tour too in Portland, right? There was a
No. We
underground
only
in
went to
Portland?
Seattle. I know Portland had the what do you call it? Shanghai.
The
tunnels?
Shanghai tunnels, yeah.
Yeah.
Have
They
you
say
been, John?
I've never been to them.
no.
No.
What? They say that shit is kind of
Kind of what?
creepy.
Oh,
Yeah. The Seattle ones. Do you know the history of Seattle? In brief history is
I
the
don't
city
know.
was built on top of the city. Does that make sense? So it wasn't an underground. The undergrounds here is like people go underground and they do everything. This was kind of built on top of the city. So then whatever was there, it became underground at that point,
Why'd
right?
they build on top of it?
Because the water, the shore, the water, the bay,
They just the water.
it would
just
always
went
go.
water
It would
table.
always go. So then what they did is they built the city on top of the city. That's why it's high. So when you go on the underground tour,
Okay.
you could literally be standing at the main door of a restaurant, and that's the original doors, original everything, and it's like this was, and it leads up, right?
That'd be cool.
So yeah, dude, it's pretty cool, honestly, because everything's original. I mean, everything. Well, that's what they say. Everything's from that time. But it's cool. It's cool. It's nice to tell you all the history, all this and that, and that's why it's underground. But Portland's the actual underground where people made it into the
Right.
underground.
They'd,
That's
especially,
a difference.
a lot of those were a lot of them are at bars or saloons.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and they'd have trap doors.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
what I heard. That's what I heard. Yeah.
They'd get somebody drunk,
Mm-hmm.
and they just drop them down there. Then they would take them, put them in cells.
Mm-hmm.
They would sell them to ship captains to go work on the ships.
They tell the people.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what you didn't know.
I didn't
I
know
heard
that.
that. I heard that too.
Dang.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the laminated things or that metal things in the front of a restaurant?
No.
Kind of like those doors.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
No?
No, I don't know.
It would just drop and take them, dude.
Dang.
So watch out.
I'ma watch out.
Don't be scared. Oh,
on
dog.
Court Street, the florist that Mike's doing the
Yeah.
estate sale at now.
Yeah.
There's that big metal plate out front,
Mhm.
That's what that was.
and it could have been used for that.
Dang.
but it's to like a
Mike,
lift.
I ain't going to check
to
you
take
out,
stuff
Mike.
downstairs.
No, that's what they said. Usually, all those things in front of a door, it meant that, right? Because, I mean, they're just gonna. Let's say you find that out. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna cover it with the metal things. I don't think they're gonna take their time and try to put some man and try to fix that. Back in the day.
That's also an interesting building too. Mike invited us to check out that place, and he says that there's 2 apartments upstairs.
Yeah.
And then there was a flower shop downstairs, but there was also an antique shop. I never knew
mezzanine
there was
part,
there
yeah.
was an
Did-
antique
I
shop.
never
there.
went in
Oh,
there.
did you
never
know,
knew that.
Never
or-
saw it. No.
No, damn. We
That's
should go have
crazy.
some of that building.
We should, John.
1.7 billion.
Needs a lot of work.
We'll just leave it and we'll say that it has character for an antique shop.
Second location.
Second location. Yeah.
That's. I actually thought about that. That would be cool.
That would be very
making
cool.
an antique mall, but that thing
It's
needs
a lot of work. He did say that they're just gonna do. They're gonna fix the roof. They say that they're
Yeah.
gonna fix it before they sell it.
Mm.
That's the only thing they're gonna fix.
I know Whitlock's. They used to be the vacuum cleaner place. That one, they're putting apartments on the top floor, and I think it's offices on the main floor and basement.
Oh, so they finally figured it out what they're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Which one's that one?
The big location next to
What's it
shout out
next
to Van Sandwich, but
Yeah.
the place right there.
Oh, I know what you're
It
talking
used to be
about.
the vacuum cleaner
They're,
place.
they're gonna do what on that?
They have apartments upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and then the main floor and the basement have offices, businesses.
Interesting. Would you guys ever live downtown?
No.
No.
Nope.
No, you guys need more space, huh?
I like being out away a little bit.
Out in
We
the
live
country,
in
right?
Almsville, yeah.
Yeah, like the
Oh, you guys live out in
Yeah,
Almsville?
we're in town of Almsville, but
I used to live in Almsville.
did you? Yeah,
I lived there for like 5 years.
yeah. We live on 11th Street, and everybody knows our house. It's the one with the mountain lion on the roof.
Not in line. Dang, John shot that himself back in the day.
We put that up shortly after we bought the house.
Yeah.
And, actually, she's world famous. She, a buddy of mine tagged me on Facebook one day, and there was a story It was a picture of our house, with my wife's car in the driveway. Some lady in Bandon, saw a picture of it on Facebook. She called Channel 12 News and said that she came out of her house and it was on her neighbor's roof and it scared her in Bandon. And they did a whole story on it, and we laughed about it. And it's like the story was going wild. I mean, hundreds of thousands of views.
Damn.
And I ended up calling the reporter. I said, you ought to check these stories out, before you publish them, because this isn't true. And he said, well, how do you know it's not true? Yeah, there's the picture there.
Come show us, Nancy. Put it on camera, John.
Yeah.
Put it on the iPhone one, dude.
Maybe Alan can.
Because I'm the one that does the clips there.
Okay, which one?
Any iPhone. Let me see it, John.
Damn, John.
Tearing up the room.
Oh,
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
dang.
John. Damn, John.
So we can't have nothing nice around here.
Hey. Dude, that was all Alan right there.
Oh, blame it on me.
Hey, I brought a hammer, dude. Put you to work.
Nah, don't worry about it, John.
Yeah, so that started going around, and so he edited the story to say, everything else, and talks about it. I had a buddy of mine help me put it up there, and I never even thought about the irony, but my buddy's name that helped me put it up, his name is Dean Panther. And so then people commented, you can't make this shit up.
Dang.
You can't.
Yeah, but it ended up every network news across the United States talked about it. Canada, London.
Damn.
Have you ever heard of Aussie Man?
Uh-uh.
He's a dude in Australia that does like spoofs and news stories from around the world. He talked about it.
Damn.
But what was the interesting part about it? Like, was that no one knew where it came from or what?
Just that it looks so real.
It just, oh,
yeah.
I see.
And we have kind of a long driveway. So people out
Ah.
on the road, we've had people lock up their brakes, and back up to look at it. We've had people pull in the driveway, take
Call 911.
pictures.
Damn.
Yeah, we did.
Dang.
I was in the
Shabo
garage
showed up.
piddling around with something, and there's this lady across the street screaming at me, don't come out of your garage. Don't come out of your garage.
Yeah.
And I knew what she was doing. It's like, huh? So I come bebopping out.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, nah. And I get over across the street, and she's on her phone.
Yeah.
And I get over there, and she's on the phone with 911. That there's a lion on the roof.
Damn.
You
it's
need to
like-
put it on top of the shop so people can talk about that.
We thought about it. We
Yeah.
have one in the shop.
I think
the
I've
one
seen
that's on the
in
fitting
shop.
room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly the
I
same one we
seen
have
it,
up on
yeah.
our garage roof. Yeah.
How's that fitting room? Is it pretty cool? Like, are people like
people
do you-
love it.
Did you see like an increase?
Yeah.
Did you see like something? Oh, I actually like this. Now that I could actually okay.
Because we, being that we don't do returns, all sales are final. It's always been tough with the clothes. To think, okay, I think it'll fit. And so a lot of people be like, nah, I don't know. I want to be sure.
Speaking of
So-
returns, did you ever have like crazy story where like, hey, I bought this and this is not right. This is fake or
We had a gentleman,
Gentlemen.
very loosely using that word.
Yeah.
Came in. He had bought a ring, and he put it on the counter, and he said, "This ring is not titanium; it is stainless steel."
yeah.
I paid $100 for this ring, and I looked at it. I said, "No, you didn't. You paid $10 because it's a stainless steel ring."
Yeah.
And got quite belligerent, and we ended up taking him outside.
You come with me.
He finally got back in his cab and left.
Yeah. Damn.
So did he think he paid $100 for it, or was he just trying to pull a fast?
I don't know if he knew what was going on.
Oh, okay.
In the month, do you find people trying to return stuff? Like, how many people do you find?
No.
None?
Yeah,
'Cause
because
I know
we
you-
have signs, all sales final.
I know you have signs, but I mean, general public, like sometimes people don't even pay attention to that, right?
Yeah, we let them know if it's something they're questionable. We'll tell them, all sales are final.
Okay.
And I think too, being a resale shop, I think that's kind of the standard.
Yeah, I think so,
All
too.
sales are final.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
I would say, yeah.
We're not Walmart or Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
Not have it your way.
Right? Yeah.
Have you ever had like an incident there? Like, oh man, I got to kick someone out because of something, or
Yeah.
yeah, every day.
John's a muscle.
The muscle.
I tend to escalate things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of times that Nancy will kind of take the lead on
It sounds like
moving someone out.
It sounds like me and Alan.
Yeah. Because she has a lot of years experience in retail.
Yeah.
You know, where I don't. So things that she's used to, I'm not. And I don't deal well with.
You should probably come over here and tell us about your retail experience, Nancy.
It's not about how you say. It's not about what you say. It's about how you say it.
A lot of times.
And Jorge has a very bad way of saying things sometimes.
Yeah.
And I can say the same exact things, but they won't come across as aggressive or.
Mm-hmm. When I was younger, you know, when I was a kid, I worked carnivals a lot, and so I learned a lot about talking. And yeah, I could be standing there face to face, somebody telling me that they're the dumbest asshole in the world and don't know how they remember to breathe. And they smile and say, "Wow, cool, dude."
One time we were working because we work at Verizon, and this was like 8 years ago. But there was this lady that came in, and I don't know what happened. I don't remember what the issue was, but she came in super upset at Jorge. Super upset. Oh, it was like an email thing. Like she didn't know her password, and then like he was trying to explain that she was like entering the password wrong. But the way he was explaining it, he was like saying it was her fault. But at that point, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Let's just fix the issue, right? But he was just irritated. And he's like, "No, like you're doing this wrong," like is what he was telling her. So she got super upset, chewed him out, and then I just kind of like jumped in and I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "No, he's just explaining it wrong, but I'm gonna help you out with whatever it is." She was happy.
You're not putting it in wrong. The phone's receiving it wrong.
The phone's receiving it wrong. So then I helped her. She left super happy.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "I'm always going to come with you. I don't ever want to talk to him. I don't ever want to talk to him." And then a month later when she came in to pay her bill and I greeted her, she goes, "I don't want to fucking talk to you. I want to work with him. He helped me out last time." So then this guy starts laughing. I hear him laughing underneath his breath. And then he starts helping out the lady like, "Yeah, don't ever talk to him." I was like, "Dude, what?"
He's like, "I got you, though." I was like, yeah, him? He's kind of rude sometimes. No, but, dude, that happened a lot.
That happened a lot. They would mix us up all the time.
They're like same size, same
height, same hairstyle at that time.
Same color, everything. They're like, "Hey, no, I talked to him." I was like, "Oh." So every time someone's like, "Hey, I'm looking for this guy," talk to the guy. Oh, if it's something bad, I was like, "Oh, that's not, that was the other guy."
Yeah.
You can ask Mike. We met Mike at the
I don't think Mike still doesn't know.
We met Mike at the, what do you call it, the vendor event we had?
The vendor day?
The vendor day. And you can ask Mike and he will not know who's who.
Yeah.
He will not know who's who.
I think he knows now.
I don't think so.
See, I'm horrible with names. I mean, and it sucks. Cause,
Yeah, I think I think I am too, but still, like,
You are pretty bad with names too.
I mean, it took me a long time
see.
to remember your guys' names.
Yeah.
And I'm usually I'm pretty good at playing it off, though.
Hey,
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what was his name?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Everybody's name is Dude.
Hey, dude.
Oh,
Hey,
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of people that still don't know who's who.
Confuse us. Like, who are you?
But that's all right.
Yeah.
We think it's funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you got to have fun with it.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with it. You got anything?
Nah, dude.
I had a lot of fun, man.
This has been cool.
We appreciate you coming out, John. Do you guys have any special events coming up with Engelbergs? I know this was a special month because it was your 1 year anniversary, so it's a huge deal. But
Give it to John.
is your girl calling?
No, just so you can snap some pics right now. John, you wanna? But yeah, go ahead, dude.
No, yeah.
I know we need to have another vendor day for give vendors a chance to come in and close the day because we're open 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Actually close the day so vendors have a chance to come in and do some major stuff. Damn,
John, you're not
good
even
thing you work at
drinking.
Verizon.
I know. You're not even drinking, John.
Dang.
But yeah, I can't think of any other big things coming up.
What's the address again?
148 Liberty Street, Northeast.
Let's go.
Downtown Salem.
Downtown Salem, Engelberg Antiks. Let's go.
Let's go. He got it right.
You already know.
You already know.
It's been a lot of fun. Appreciate you coming out, like Alan said. Maybe next time we'll have Nancy and you and
Try to get her out here now that she's
Second
She
part.
doesn't trust us yet. No, yeah.
Yeah.
We tell people a lot too. All the people that we've had on, we've probably had like 6-7 people on, and we appreciate everybody coming on because we're so new at this. People have never been on a podcast, so they don't know what to
You
expect.
trust it with the beer, but not your phone, right?
Dang.
I know. I was like, no, don't touch that, John.
Dang.
Damn, John.
Right.
No, but yeah, we appreciate you coming on, man. It means a lot to us.
This was cool. I enjoyed it. I think you guys
A little
did a good
different,
thing. Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's cool to be part of Engelberg's. It's cool to be there. It's cool to I like it. I enjoy it. My daughter likes it. She loves it. I think that's our bonding time. I think that's all of that, and it's pretty awesome. So
That's one thing from when you first got the booth in there that's always impressed me. Every time I see you come in with your daughter, and just like you said, bonding time. Teaching her business. From a very simple point, and she digs it.
yeah, she likes it. I think
I wish more parents were involved with their kids.
all around. I mean, I think she likes it. She's a kid, so you can tell when she's like, whatever. But it's fine. The paperwork. I'm like, hey, look through this. And I'm like, hey, do the math on this, and what do you think? And she gives me an answer, and it's awesome. It's cool. I like it. So
Hey, do you guys have TikTok?
No.
She's killing it with TikTok.
Is she really?
She's making videos in the shop with TikTok. We'll have to show you the videos that
Yeah,
she's making. But yeah,
yeah.
she's killing it with TikTok.
Nice.
Yeah, she does.
she's like, when are we gonna go? I want to go again. I want to do another video.
We're just getting Instagram figured out.
You guys are doing
Yeah.
good on Instagram too.
We,
You guys
we
got-
have vendors A8, Katie and Rachel. They're the ones that are doing our social media. They picked up the Instagram, really picked up
Nice.
the followers.
Yeah, A8.
A8. They have a double booth upstairs and a half booth downstairs.
Oh,
Okay,
Damn.
nice.
And
There you go.
I try on Saturday
I
mornings.
was just gonna say, and Saturday mornings you have
my
your
Saturday morning walkthrough. This morning I didn't have time to do it. I know there was a couple weeks I kept forgetting, and it was like, oh man, I got to do it because people are loving it.
Yeah.
And I look at how many views it's getting, and it's like, man, that's insane. And people will come in, and that's how they're shopping. They're watching my video, seeing something they want, then they'll come into the store. I saw this on the video. I want this. And they'll
Heck
get
yeah.
it, and all's good.
Yeah, damn. That's
So it's
Get some B-roll and mix it in while you're describing the. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Yeah, when you add pictures and stuff.
Mm.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I did. Do you see with Parses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're getting better at this too.
There you go.
Slowly but steady.
Well, it's cool. It's fun.
So
It's
his brother has a podcast.
Who?
His brother.
Your brother?
yeah.
Nah,
he lives
where?
in San Diego.
In,
San Diego?
He's in L.A.
LA.
I think he's in Topanga Canyon now.
Oh shit. What does he talk about?
I'm not sure. I think meditation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
There you
to- How
go.
to deal with life's problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. When you were in San Diego, did you ever learn Spanish?
I understood it.
Yeah.
I could speak it. I learned quickly, though. It was more
Yeah.
advantageous to not let people know I knew it.
Yeah. Dude, did he ever tell you that one time when you remember when you were eating? You told me that story, tamales.
Oh my gosh, my first wife.
Yeah.
We dated in high school. She was Mexican. She had her grandparents actually moved up from Mexico, and they had like 13 kids. 3 of them passed away, so 10 of them, still alive.
Damn.
They raised them all in this little 1-bedroom house.
Jeez.
But when she and I first started dating, she asked if I wanted to come over to her grandmother's, for Christmas dinner with the family. I was like, sure, And she goes, yeah, we have tamales and this and that. And she goes, do you like tamales or have you had them? I go, oh yeah, I love tamales. It's like, cool. So we
I
get
got
there,
you.
and I mean, it's like wall-to-wall people in this house, and we're sitting on the couch, and it got about time to eat. So we got up, went into the kitchen. She takes the lid off this pot, and I look in it, and I said, what are those? She goes, well, those are tamales. I knew I was in trouble.
He's
I'd
like,
never
"What is
seen
this?"
anything
Yeah.
like that.
He ate the leaf.
So
Yeah.
I got one, I put it on my plate, and I noticed the family kind of watching me a lot, so we go sit on the couch, and I'm trying to cut into it. And she looks at me, and everyone else is looking at me like, what's this gringo doing,
Yeah.
And she asked, she goes, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm trying to get into it. Isn't it inside? She goes, yeah. She showed me how to take the ends. I was like, oh, that's easy. So I ate it. It was like, great. Loved it. I even got another one.
Yeah.
And then after that, one of her aunts, her Aunt Kathy, came in and said, do you want to try some menudo?
Ooh, fire.
I said, what's menudo? She said, oh, it's like a Mexican soup. It has meat in it and vegetables in it. It's like, yeah, I'll try some. So as she goes to get this bowl of menudo for me, I noticed like the entire family coming into this one room.
To watch you.
To watch, yeah. And her Aunt Kathy brings it in, and I look at it. I was like, well, that looks nice. That looks good. So I dug down, got me a big old chunk of meat, It was like, oh my God, what the hell did I put in my mouth?
You didn't like the texture?
Oh God, no.
No?
I told her,
Dude,
I said,
that's my favorite.
Dude, I don't like. Do you like? I don't
That's
like
my
menudo.
favorite.
I told her, I said, man, it looks a lot better than it tastes.
I've only had it
Yeah, I
once,
started
and
laughing.
I'm not about it.
That's the
Yeah.
best thing for a
No.
hangover.
I am not about it. I am not about it. I don't like it at all.
You're not cultured, son.
I'll try
Dude.
most things. I tried chitlins once.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine went over to his mom's house for barbecue one weekend, and he said, yeah, we're going to have ribs and chicken and greens and chitlins. Like, yeah, I'm down for that. And I'd never eaten chitlins. So I was like, well, let me try a bite of yours. He had a big old bowl of them. I said, before I get a bunch, his mom's standing there at the kitchen looking at me. And so I tried a bite, and it was like, oh, God. And she goes, what do you think? I said, I'm not disrespecting your cooking, but these things taste like my fart smell. And she just laughed. She said, oh, honey, you just need to acquire the taste. I said,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to.
Yeah. Y'all go through. You guys all finish the Mexican candy?
We did.
Well, I mean, did you guys put them
Yeah.
out? I know Elaine wanted the other ones, the little.
She liked the little push-up
Yeah, the
ones.
push-up
Because we
ones,
didn't
the
put
below
those in
ones.
the, in the
Those are
tray.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
those are
yeah, those are
Yeah, 'cause
good.
kids will make a mess with
Yeah, I
them.
know that's what she said. I was
Yeah.
like, I
But
get
those
it.
other ones,
Those are Lane's candy.
Yeah.
Elaine.
I even liked them. I even got to where I'm liking them.
Oh yeah.
A couple of those push-up ones I ate,
Hey, we
and-
get more.
Give them
and I
one.
try to stay away from candy. But,
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember when we walked in. When we walked in, he ate. What was he eating? He was eating the muffins or something like that, and you guys were all upset at him. They're like, you need to watch. You diabetic.
Was I there?
My
No, you weren't
sugars.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, they were all lecturing him. It
Oh,
was
I
like
was-
they were all bullying him. They were like 3 against 1.
It was. There was a bunch of bullies. I mean, they always picking on me.
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, but it's a wrap though.
It's a wrap.
Anybody that wants to come down, Engelberg Antiks open 7 days a week.
11 to 6.
11 to 6. There you go.
Yeah, let's go.
Downtown Salem, Oregon.
If you guys see Nancy, say hi to Nancy and John.
Here
Bam.
you go.
Boom.
Destination.
Hey, go downstairs though.